college football, college basketball, boxing, wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of events going on every year. If we tiptoe around every event, we'd never put on an event.
Right.
So that's the date that Fox gave us, and that's the date we're going to go.
And aren't you guys ending, like, instead of a 2-hour show, you're doing a 1-hour show?
Yep.
So if people want to go watch that, they can. Let's see this first, because people are kind of in a fight vibe. Hopefully some people will probably forget about the, I can't even say hopefully because I don't dislike Pacquiao, but a lot of people might forget about it because they're watching UFC. They may forget to go over. Yeah. But it's a little kick to the balls of that big fight, because they have so few big nights in boxing. Right. Every one is a major event. You guys have a Silver Okami, but 2 weeks from now you have another big fight. So you guys have a million of them.
That's it too. Yeah, with boxing, you have to wait forever for the big fights.
Exactly. Bob Arum. Hey, Bob, big mouth. You think you're so great at what you do? Make that Floyd Mayweather fight that everybody wants to see. Shut your face. You big, fat, greedy pig, and make the fight people want to see. He wants to put on 50 fights with Pacquiao now. Make the fight that people want to see. Make the fight that Manny Pacquiao wants. Go do something, you lazy, do-nothing, fat, greedy pig.
Fucking beautiful. And that's exactly how we talk to Eric in the next room. It's funny too. It's not that, Travis. The boxers. It's funny how boxers look at UFC too. Because I love Bernard Hopkins. I mean, you can't not love Hopkins. Yep. And at one point there was an interview where he was like, the guy's wrestling around the floor, and then there he was, right there, front and center in Philly. And it turns out he had been training Rashad a little bit, or at least talking to him about boxing styles. So it seems like a lot of the attitudes of even the fighters is turning around.
Yeah, well, what happened was he started training some of the guys, and it's the same way I got into it. What happens is once you get educated about the sport and you meet some of the people, it's really hard not to like it. It's really hard not to like it.
Yeah, all those guys, it's like literally I've never had a guy in here. We've never had a guy in here that we didn't have a good time with.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guys who don't speak English are a little harder to interview. I mean,
Come on, you mean the guys that don't speak English aren't good radio?
I know, but I'm such a fanboy, I don't care. Fucking Silva could have just came in and thrown fucking air kicks. And I would have been like, doesn't that sound great on the radio? I admit it, I'm a self-centered asshole. That's what I care about.
Dana, I heard that you're not into the chick MMA thing.
Oh,
the women.
That's not true.
Brawling.
Really? That's a bad rap I get. But
because Jimmy was over at my house, we were watching. God, I can't even remember the names of these girls. But
male on male pornography, and we happened to turn it off. But two girls were going at it, and one. Wow, was she an attractive girl? What an ass on her! And just to see her making these moves, something about the girls just wrapping their legs around each other it was very interesting to watch.
No,
and then I heard
it's good to hear you guys take the sport aspect of it very serious. So these girls are going at it, and wow, what a great!
You watch the guys for the sport and the action. You watch the girls for the occasional slip and going, oh, I could see right up her shorts there. There was something kind of interesting / erotic about the two girls going at it like that.
Here's my thing with and I've said it many times. There's not enough good girls to create an entire division.
Oh, okay.
To create an entire division, and one of my real big problems with it is, and this is where I think sometimes I come off sounding sexist, but it's a fact, and this is what happened. I was up in Northern California years ago watching this fight, one of the smaller fights, and these two girls were fighting. One girl fought just like Randy Couture and looked just like Randy Couture. And she fought this girl who was absolutely gorgeous, who looked like she took 5 Taibo classes. The beating that this girl took for 3 rounds, just
wow.
I want to know that, that there's a competitive division. There's enough competitive girls in there so you don't get a lopsided beating.
So it's a little lopsided now, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. So that's where I kind of get my bad rap and come off sounding sexist.
No, but that makes perfect sense because to just have a sacrificial lamb being thrown in there to get the shit beat out of her by someone of questionable sexuality.
Right. Well, I always felt like, when I say that, I come off sounding sexist, but boy, you two blew me out of the water.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to cover you and help you out.
You guys make me look great.
Don't worry about it. Our quotes are even worse.
Yeah, you're going to look like a Vanity Fair article when you walk out of here compared to the creeps in this room. Gentleman, Dana is. Why would he talk to those two?
I just have a hard time with one-sided fights in women's MMA. Listen, we just got this Fox deal, and the way that I look at the Fox deal is everybody's like, oh, you're mainstream now. We're not mainstream. We've just been given the opportunity to go mainstream. Now's the time that we really got to dig in and work and do all this hard stuff. People out there have had a hard time with the guys. When you see a guy on the ground getting pounded,
right.
What do you think's going to happen if somebody turns on Fox and sees some girl on her back, pinned down, getting hit with punches? It's just, it's tough to do.
Some people might actually pull out the Vaseline and tissues.
Yeah, I mean, I did find it a little sexier than I thought I would.
There was just something about it, and it was the fact that one of the girls was, God. I mean, she's done some pretty stunning bikini modeling and stuff like that. And
what
she
fight were you
great.
guys watching?
What the fuck was it? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. It was
Victoria's Secret Lady.
Was it?
Yeah, maybe that was
it. Was it Misha Tate?
It might have been. It was.
I think it was.
It was. It was Fedor's last.
Yeah, it was Misha
forced
Tate.
nap.
Misha Tate. Forced nap.
Somebody pointed out on Twitter, and then I copied it. The last person he tapped was me. I am Fedor Emelianenko's last victory. After this fucking show, he has lost. I think 3 in a row he has lost.
That is fucked up.
Are you guys happy with the Strikeforce purchase, and then you guys going to integrate all those fighters into UFC?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We're working on that whole thing with Showtime right now. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'm excited about. I'm excited about that we can do Nick Diaz versus George St. Pierre in October in Vegas. Pumped about that.
Is that the next Vegas fight?
Yeah.
All right, good.
We
want to go out to I keep telling you, you got to go to a live event.
I know.
And you guys seriously should come to that one.
I would love to in Vegas.
October.
Jesus
October in
Christ.
Vegas. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I would fly out for that.
I would love to, yeah.
It's hard to convince
Do it.
yourself.
You think your head was banged up last time I was here, man. Wait till you come back from Vegas for 3 days.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
You're trying to forget about the 4th of July.
I know.
Diving incident.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The
I
drunken
forgot.
diving incident. That's the last time I was here.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I was in worse shape than the fighter we had in that had lost that recently.
Yeah, you were miserable that trip.
Yeah,
You said like 4 words on that whole interview on the radio. Remember I bumped into you on the elevator?
I was like, oh, God. Yeah, I was hungover.
Yeah.
And I had hit my face on the side of my swimming pool. Wow, I was beat up bad.
Wasn't I there for that or no? I was
Hell
there
of
like
a
the
4th
next
of
night.
July.
I spend a lot of time in this. It's really creepy. I go to his house a lot, and we just sit in the hot tub and just talk. It really is awful. But it's
And then I jump in the pool and smash my face on the bottom.
yeah. And
It's great.
cops show up. They think we're having a domestic quarrel. It's humiliating. It's really embarrassing. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear this though, man. Because going main. So when you said you're going main, you guys are mainstream. You meant that in a good way. Because it's funny how for comedians, if someone goes, "You're mainstream," you're like, "No, I'm not." Like you
Sell out, yeah.
Yeah, but you mean that
Stuff
in a
like
good
that.
way. Like you guys are on the main stage.
Let me tell you, these fighters that have been doing this for almost, the UFC's been around for almost 18 years. And these guys are some of the best conditioned athletes in the world. These guys work hard. It's about time they get the respect they deserve. That's the thing that I love the most about this deal is NFL, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, UFC. I mean, all the properties that Fox has.
Yeah.
Now the UFC is there, and these athletes deserve it. It's about time.
That's nice. And it just opens it up to so many more people that are going to be able to watch it.
Yep.
And people that probably haven't ever seen it.
No doubt about it.
And
That
they'll be
first,
like, wow, this is cool shit.
yeah, that first fight will reach millions of people that have never seen it before.
And people that have only heard bad shit about it, like it's violent or it's too much. And meanwhile, so much of the jujitsu, it's like a boxing match for 10 rounds and knocking each other's brains in. But literally, in a UFC fight, a lot of times you just your arm is bent a certain way, and that's the end of the fight. You've only taken a few punches. It's like these guys, I think, have a lot longer shelf life and are probably a lot healthier when they're 60 than boxers are when they're 60.
No doubt about
And it does seem like the refs are jumping in. They're not really letting the head pound off of the ring as much as the older days of the sport.
Yeah, well,
is that a conscious effort?
Well, no, these guys are getting more educated on when a guy is done. Believe me, there's still some moments when fights need to be stopped a little sooner. People don't realize when you're watching the UFC. Punch, kick, knee, elbow, go to the ground. What great athletes he's got. And when a guy gets caught, for instance, if a guy gets dropped and gets rocked in boxing, he's got till the count of 10 to get back up.
Right.
When you get dropped here, that guy's right on top of you, dropping punches down.
Smashing your head.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Believe me, the refs jumping in is a good thing.
I was sitting behind, thanks to great seats, behind Bernard Hopkins and his guys. watching them watch.
Did you go, could you move your head?
Yeah, I'm like, down in front!
I just smack him.
Let me tell you what, though, Hopkins, a guy who's been boxing as long as he has, he looks damn good, doesn't he? When you talk to him, I mean, he's 100%. And
he's all there.
He really is, man.
He's
it's unbelievable.
100. I'm fucking such a low self-esteem idiot that I tapped him like, hi, I don't know if you remember me. He's like, of course I do. You know, part of it was my low self-esteem, part of it, he's a boxer, he's 46. But he's completely, you didn't know, but he's completely lucid and completely, he's just saying that what he wants to do, and he wants to go on and keep fighting. But watching those guys, they were very impressed watching the fight, especially when the guys went to the ground. Who's the headline fight? That was it was Faber.
No, the headline fight you were at was Tito and Rashad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tito. Jesus, yes.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. I thought fucking Rashad was going out actually on that guillotine.
If he'd have got that other foot around, that would have been interesting. If Tito could have popped that other foot around and locked his guard, it would have been interesting.
That was amazing that he was just able to not tap. I watched that and was like, oh, he's done. He's done for. But and then to hear Rogan say like, no, it's not quite locked in. He's doing, you know.
Rogan's so good at calling.
I was yelling at Rogan. I'm going, you know, you're a little too good because you almost ruined the fight for me. It's like he's saying what's going to happen. It's like, let me watch it. Right. It's live, and he's calling it like it's a tape.
Well, you know what's cool? It hasn't been done in a long time, but Fox is gonna start doing it. Fox Radio, sports radio now, is going to take the live feed of Rogan and Goldie calling the fights.
Oh,
so
nice,
if you can't get the pay-per-view and you can get it on your radio.
That's great.
And Rogan's
cool,
great.
huh?
He can
breaks
paint
it
that
down.
picture, man.
I think he's the best announcer in sports. Because
Absolutely.
I could never call a basketball game either. But the way he knows what so much about, he makes it very simple. Like all he's got to do here is wrap his leg around if he wants to get out of it. Then you see the guy doing that and getting out of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's a lot easier to watch because it seems like an impossible situation, and he's kind of walking you through how a guy can get out of an impossible situation.
It's not like, oh, he's got him in a thingamajiggy.
Right.
Oh, he's putting his leg in a
or him just saying, oh, he's got that choke, and people don't understand what the transition was. How do you get out of it and everything else? I believe that the last generation, Rogan's been with us like 8 years. I think that people have picked up the ground game faster because of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is educated an entire generation on the ground game.
Yeah, and it really is. I know Dana has to go.
Yeah.
It really is the place to be seen, though. And I hate to say, there's no way to sound that without sounding like a douche. But like, it's amazing the people you get at your fights now. Like in Vegas, of course, I annoyed Rihanna for a photo, and fucking Justin Bieber. It's like you get some really big name people who know that camera shot.
Did she flinch when you tapped her?
She was looking. Of course, she didn't know. They're like, you might know Jim Norton, and she's like, she couldn't have not known me. I've never had anybody not know me more. Like literally, she circled the earth of not knowing people, and I was the final person that she didn't know. But it's amazing the people that are showing up at these fights because they know it is something that everybody in the demo is watching. So you're doing something right, man.
That's the place to be.
All right, he has to go. Congratulations.
Dana, thanks so much, man.
First fight's in November. I'm sure we'll be talking to you before then.
Yes.
But it's a huge, huge fucking day for the UFC. And, look, I still like boxing, but...
Yeah. And thanks for just stopping by because I hear this was pretty much short notice kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, I started in L.A., going here all day in New York, and then I fly down to Miami tonight. Hopefully, get out before the hurricane, and then down to Brazil for the fight this weekend.
And the fight is Saturday night. Of course, you fly
private. Of course.
Huh?
You fly private?
America West.
Yeah, Frontier.
They actually fold up the wings on America West and just drive down fucking 95. But UFC 134, Silva versus Okami is the headline fight, and it's this Saturday, August 27th on pay-per-view. It's sold out in 74 minutes, and it's live. Silva fighting in Rio de Janeiro, and that's one fight I'm annoyed that I will not be at.
Absolutely.
Just, UFC, you're doing everything right, so we're happy that you're here.
And we'll be back with more of Mike Baker.
Mike from the CIA is here, and thanks for hanging out.
Mike's great. Thanks.
And
Bill Burrow's going to be stopping by in a little bit. But Dana, thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys. Always appreciate it.
Back.